You ever feel like you're just drowning in noise? Well, today we're talking about how to rise above it. We're going to get into a really crucial skill, digital distillation. Let's break down how you find the signal that actually matters. So look at where we are right now. On one side, you've got this endless ocean of data. I mean, we're creating more of it every single second. But over on the other side, that's where we need to be, with real, actual value. And let's be honest, there is a massive gap between the two. So that's the big question, isn't it? How in the world do we bridge that gap? How do we take this overwhelming flood of information and turn it into something we can actually use? That's the puzzle we're going to try and solve. To even start answering that, we have to face the music. We have to understand the scale of the problem. We are living in a world of pure, unfiltered noise. You've heard it a million times, right? Data is the new oil. But this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. Just because you've got an ocean of something doesn't mean it's all worth something. Honestly, most of it is just noise. So you can really boil this whole thing down to a simple battle. The problem is noise, all that irrelevant, distracting, just overwhelming data. And the goal? That's the signal, the clear, meaningful, and valuable stuff that's hiding somewhere in there.
Okay, so how do we find that signal? How do we hunt for it? Well, this is where the art of distillation comes in. It's a really powerful new way of seeing and, well, dealing with information.
So what is digital distillation exactly? Think of it like this. It's the art of separating what matters from what doesn't. It's this whole process of taking the messy, chaotic world of raw data and just boiling it down until all you have left is pure clarity. It's about finding the absolute essence of something. Okay, that sounds amazing in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when you put it into practice? How do we really go from all that chaos to real clarity? It's a total transformation. First, you take the raw chaos, right? Just jumble of information all over the place. And you distill it down. You start to create a coherent picture out of that mess. That's clarity. Then, you tune out all the static. Think of it like finding a clear station on an old radio. You're just getting rid of all that interference, so you can lock on to the genuine insight that was buried in all that noise. And finally, this is the goal. You take all that raw input, that initial insight you found, and you turn it into its most precious form, real value. Something you can actually act on, something you can build with. You know, this whole idea, this art of distillation, it's not just some abstract concept. It's actually the entire mission for companies like Codata AI. They're literally building the technology to make this transformation happen, but at a huge scale. Their process is really interesting. It creates this whole ecosystem around the idea. So it starts by refining the data, actively filtering out the noise. Then it moves on to recognizing the importance of the signal that's left, understanding its context, its weight. And finally, it rewards that value, building systems that make sure the most meaningful information just naturally rises to the top. So why does all this matter so much right now? Well, because as this information explosion just keeps getting bigger and faster, the ability to find the signal, well, that's becoming the single most important skill for the future, period. A lot of us think of artificial intelligence as this giant vacuum cleaner, right? Just sucking up as much data as it possibly can. But honestly, that's a huge misunderstanding of what its true potential is. The real power, the true revolution of AI, is its ability to understand that data, to do that active distillation, to see the patterns, and to find the crucial signals that we as humans would probably miss. And that really brings us to the core of it all. This isn't just about technology. It's about focus. In a world that's just getting louder and louder every single day, the future, it isn't going to belong to the people who shout the loudest. It's going to belong to those who can hear that quiet, crucial signal through all the noise. So what signals are you listening for?